also a bit love you, I mean, you need some love. You need understanding, and because the architect is always somebody moving on a shifting ground. You don't know exactly. You never can prove exactly what I'm saying is true. You need the confidence of the client. And, well, just to make a short story from a long one, this is one of the view inside the Menil collection. In that building, the light was the most important thing. Light, transparency, the poetry comes here from this kind of lightness. This is the section showing the shape of the roof. And the shape of the roof is done in such a way that the light of Texas doesn't come inside directly, it comes down inside by indirect lighting. So you don't have the sun inside. This is a picture I want to show because this is on the street. And this is one of the labs. And it's very important to understand that those buildings, institutional building, museum, library, they need to be part of the environment. They need to be accessible, visible. They should never be like a fortress, like a castle. They need to be part of the environment. And this is on the street. And this is inside the building. Well, I don't have to say too much. Probably you already know this project. But it's about light. It's about natural light. Working on natural light is one of the constants of my office. This is a lady working on conservation. Again, this is on the street. So from the street, you can see inside. You can see inside from the street as well. So normally, we wanted to explore the beauty of light, natural light, but also we wanted to explore the beauty of accessibility and visibility and transparency between the street and the building. Here we jump to far away. We jump in Japan, and those people are part of the 10,000 works that made the Kansai airport. I'm jumping on purpose because I want to show how different are things. You go sometime from a Menil collection in Houston, Texas, and you make a little museum, and you go to a job that was immense. This airport was built 15 years ago. Those people are warming up before the job, before the work. Sorry. And this was one of the biggest sites. I showed those pictures not because they are architecturally important, but because architecture is about construction. Architecture is about construction, architecture is about society, is about community, is about expression, is about poetry, is about everything. Architecture is an art at the frontier of art. It's an art that I may call contaminated in some way, but I love that kind of contamination. It's an epicontamination. It's an art, but it's so much related to construction, science, technology, history. This is a picture I love, apart from the beauty of the picture, because it shows how complex it is to put together things, and especially when you make a building that is, you see, this is a satellite picture of the Bay of Osaka, and this is the airport. Well, you can see from the moon, I guess. And this is a picture of the island on which we built the airport. So this, in some ways, the opposite of making a small museum. This is more about a great structure, a great building. The first time I went there, I asked to go to see the site because this is what I do all the time. A good architect, I think, should always spend some time on site before doing anything, because the sites are very inspiring. The site always have a little genius, the genius loci, the genius of the place is there, hidden, even in the most difficult site. And the Japanese guy watched me and said, but there's no place, nothing. no, nothing. There's no land. So we still wanted to go there, and we went there, and we actually moved somewhere. And we spent one day looking, and this was an immensely complex thing. This is the building finish. That building is 2 kilometers long. It's a building that was actually hit by earthquake that destroyed Kobe 15 years ago, but the building didn't suffer anything. It's a very flexible building. When you do something like that, engineering, construction, architecture, everything comes together. This is the geometry of the building. And the geometry like that, this was done together with Peter Rice, late Peter Rice, of Urban Partners. You know, everything I show is not myself. It's always with the great team. It's the office team, but it's also the team of the engineers we're working with. And the reason why of this shape, well, I shouldn't say that it comes strictly from structure, but of course, it's because in a seismic area, you need to make buildings that are very light and flexible. In case of earthquake, they have to be able to move. I mean, actually, when the big earthquake of Kobe occurred, that point there in the center moved 0.5 meter. But we didn't even break a piece of glass. And I'm showing this because this was an immensely complex adventure. Look at the shape now. So it's a double shape, it's a toroid shape, structurally speaking. And this is a building which, of course, this is from inside. It's functionally quite simple. You have a train inside, so you don't walk 2 kilometers, of course, but you know where you are. I mean, in airport, normally you get lost. You don't understand where you are. In this airport, you see because you see the planes. I don't want to, of course, I can keep you for a long time on this picture. It's like being inside a big whale. But I just wanted to show a building that is also about adventure, a different adventure. This is what architecture is about. Every time is something else, something different. And if you don't understand that, you fall in the trap of academy and style because you start to repeat yourself. This is somewhere in Italy. This is Turin. It's a 2,000-seat concert hall that we made. This is the same hall we made about 15 years ago. This was the first evening with Claudio Abbado directing the Berliner. It's an instrument. It's a sound instrument. It's an harmonic chamber. I wanted myself to be a musician. I never succeeded because I was too bad. But I love the idea of making space for music. And I love because it's a bit like building instrument for music. They are not instruments to make music, but they are instruments to listen to music. This is something else in the Lingotto, but I want to jump, and we will be back, of course, to music, but I want to jump to another big adventure that started in '92, 3 years after the wall in Berlin fell down. This is Potsdamer Platz. And this is Potsdamer Platz in '45. Now, after the wall of Berlin went down, '89, we started to work on the rehabilitation of Potsdamer Platz. And we actually built there with my office the master plan and I guess 7 or 8 of those buildings. It was an incredible adventure. Look at that. I keep mixing architecture with construction because I think that all those things come together. Look at that. This is the site. The site was so big that we can't pump the water because we can actually take the water table too much down. So we wanted to pour concrete by those people. We got hundreds of those divers that actually came from everywhere in Europe, and they actually work in this water that was iced most of the time in the winter,